Terrence Howard's exclusive interview has been released, where he talks about well-known figures connected to Diddy. Reports say he received threats after sharing these names. At the same time, Diddy's legal troubles have increased, with a new lawsuit that also mentions Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and LeBron James. This has raised serious questions about how deep Diddy's influence in the industry really was. If Diddy is convicted, a major Hollywood scandal could be exposed.
Speak against me, then use the same courage that it took for me to say those truths. Man to man, eye to eye, integrity and in truth. I've spent a lifetime earning the right to speak with the conviction about these truths that I speak. So if you want to tear that down, have the decency to come and say it directly to my face.
Oscar-nominated actor Terrence Howard left the film industry because he understood what happens behind the scenes. He said many people are pressured to compromise their values. Diddy's arrest and related evidence have brought these issues into the spotlight. On the Patrick Bet-David podcast, Terrence explained that he turned down some of the biggest roles of his career to protect his integrity and self-respect.
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man.
Terrence said that people who accept such deals often suffer mentally later in life. He questioned whether success is worth it if it requires losing personal respect. According to him, some young stars in the industry have struggled with serious mental health challenges because of this pressure.
Struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary.
Terrence Howard tweeted that he was ready to expose long-hidden lies and that this was only the beginning. He said people had waited years for the truth. After the interview, those he spoke about reportedly contacted him, and he allegedly received threats.
Listen, before y'all talk about me, y'all need to talk to me. You see, once upon a time, if a man questioned another man's honor, he didn't do it from the shadows. He had to do it out in the open, with his name, his chest out, and his chin high. Not hiding behind the keyboard or tucked behind editing clips of fair use disclaimers. You see, citing Section 107 of the Copyright Act does not give you free rein to defame, misrepresent, or harm another's reputation. Fair use is not a shield for character assassination. So here's the simple truth. If you take my words, my image, my ideas, and twist them to feed your fear and inflate your ego, if you profit off of my name while calling me a liar, then be prepared to stand behind your accusation.
Terrence Howard's statements suggest that Hollywood has a long history of power misuse. Several powerful figures have previously faced serious allegations, including Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Roman Polanski, and now Diddy. Terrence believes a small group of influential people...
You got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far, you know? Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head, you know? But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So
50 Cent has said for a long time that many celebrities knew what was happening but stayed silent to protect their careers. He believes this silence allowed bad behavior to continue. 50 Cent has also stated that he never attended Diddy's private events because he wanted to stay away from such situations.
I liked each other business-wise for a long time.
Well, that's why. It's only business. It was really... Away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him. Right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you, and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards. Or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. And when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, nah, I'll spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this. Like
50 Cent mentioned that Meek Mill was often seen around Diddy. He explained that he personally kept his distance because he understood the risks involved. According to 50, everyone makes their own choices when it comes to fame and success.
You shopping?
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. This is Stop it. You set that up. Look, obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. Guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think is happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow,
because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, man. I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you can give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm going to mess up the way. Certain things, they let it go by because it's Puff. He wasn't like in the closet. He was like in the hallway.
All these years, you being the only one calling this out.
No, I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
They say you're a hater. They say you're crazy.
The situation is not limited to Meek Mill. Jay-Z and Beyoncé have been longtime supporters of Diddy, and their names have appeared in recent lawsuits. Reports claim they attended his events regularly. Now, many are waiting to see how the courts handle these cases.